Anything which is permissible by law, we are going to engage. But we're also ready to go and push the boundaries a bit further. But we're going to be acting in the interests of the well-being of the citizens of Uganda. Now, many of these questions are actually directed the wrong person. You ask me questions about the behavior of somebody, and there's somebody who has great authority over that person. Who's the one to act? If you said, if that was your son, what would you do? That's a different question. Very different question. If that was my son, what would I do? This is a public office. And I've tried to plead on this basis that you are making things difficult for even those who love and care for you. You make it very difficult. You mentioned it's crossing borders. We are the shame of East Africa. Uganda is the shame of East Africa. You mistreat Martha Karua as pillar in East Africa. You're not satisfied, you go for Miriam Matembe. We are ashamed. And that is where a lot of that question happens. Who is in charge? Who is really in charge? Because this is beyond an office, beyond, it's affecting the whole country. It's affecting our relationship with neighbors. We are the laughingstock. The whole world has looked at this issue. What are we doing about it? I can complain, but I have no authority over the person in that office. So what you should be asking is, where is the president as far as this is concerned? Mr. President, where are you? Where are you? We are all Ugandans. We all have our concerns. There are those who are scared of speaking their concerns. I am ready to speak their concerns, but where are we going as a country? So rather than address it to some of us, you should be addressing the president. And there I will agree with Salam. Let us address the president. If I sit with the president, I say, Mr. President, things are going wrong. It's going wrong. And if it goes wrong, where are we supposed to go? Where are we supposed to go? I've been in exile before. People think exile is an easy thing. It's not. It's not. The same as reading about people going to jail, the trauma which you go through, there are things which you cannot explain until you go through it. But this is our country. All of us should be able to say, for God and my country, what are you prepared to do for your country? For me, I'm prepared to do what I can do for my country. And until they stop me, I'll have to do it without apology. We should get out of this issue. We are all human beings. Muhoozi, son of a president. I was born son of a president. Many of these people, whatever, I was born when he was president. But I've spent most of my life outside as a son of a former president. It's a very different issue. Very different. And there's no presidency which is forever. You are going to be a son of a former president at some point, and now you're going to have to come to a different level and interact with others also. This country, people who you are mistreating, you have to live amongst them. Or you think this isolation and this security thing, locking down places is going to remain forever. I've spent most of my life outside of those trappings, but I've lived in those. I can address myself. I can move freely amongst people because of the conduct of those who came. So, choices have to be made, and those choices, many of those choices are not asked to make. It is those in the first family to make the choices which is going to benefit them, but where we are concerned is when it affects Uganda. If you choose whether or not you're going to solve these other issues, that's yours. But for Uganda, I must speak. For your own benefit, it's up to you whether you decide to do it. What I can assure Muhoozi, there's no presidency forever. When you're a son of a former president, life may be very difficult. Prepare for it. Now, if talking alone was not changing things, why are they after Miriam Matembe? Was Miriam Matembe carrying guns? She talked. She spoke her mind. And there are those who get uncomfortable when people speak their mind. What was Martha doing? Her work. Martha Karua was doing her work. So, talking is the weapon which we have. And we must exercise it. And talking, I will not just say talking is just talking. How did God make the world? He spoke. He spoke the word. So I will speak the word. I will speak justice in Uganda. I'll speak freedom. I'll speak hope. I'll plant those seeds. Let us plant those seeds. Seeds of hope. Seeds of a future which works for us. That they cannot stop me. They will not stop any of us from doing that, and that's what we're going to do. I am not interested in killing anyone. I'm not interested in putting anyone in a basement. I'm not interested in locking anybody up. I'm interested in Uganda which works for all of us, irrespective of our parties. Where we can respect one another, we can do our politics. That's a Uganda. And what do we do about it? We'll speak about it. We'll write. We'll do anything. We'll continue, but we'll work within the law. But those who think they're going to cower us into becoming some whimpering of people who are not good, I'm not going to be part of those ones. I've said I'm not ready to go into the future on my knees. I won't go on my knees. So if there's only to speak, I'll speak. But clearly, speaking is offending people. Speaking alone is offending people. Those who are writing are being offended. Kalejira. There are many others who are affected by speaking. But there are certain fears I have. The last stanza of our national anthem, O Uganda, the land that feeds us, by sun and fertile soil grown, for our own dear land, we will always stand. The pearl of Africa's crown. Often we go through these things, we don't take them to heart because we've been singing them, you know. But suppose you're standing there before God, if Akena is standing there before God, and then they display these hundreds of Ugandan children who were malnourished or who died during the wars which were being talked about and often buried in unmarked graves. What am I going to say before God? I had the knowledge, I had the ability, we had the party which defined this issue, but what am I going to say before God when I'm put before the Ugandans who died unnecessarily? The Ugandans who are dying in these clinics because there's no medicine, the doctors are not being equipped or they're not being catered for. What am I going to say? Uganda is actually the most blessed country I've ever lived in. And we have 26% of our children malnourished. What am I going to say before God? Or can I even say that I love God, yet I know in Uganda there are children who are starving. There are children who are being abandoned. Is that the measurement of a Christian? In the Bible there says, how can you say you love God and your neighbor who you can see is suffering and you ignore? Children are starving. Political players are being terrorized, being pushed to the point where they should be quiet. I will not be able to stand before God and say, oh, I was too scared. No. I fear God more than I fear these ones. I fear God much more. And that's where you can say, oh death, where is your sting? Where's your sting? I will die, yes. But let me die with a good conscience. Let me die having worked for my country. Let me die having contributed and made a difference. Even if I might have not solved anything, I might have made a difference to make it better for somebody.